things that are alive have to control their environment around them to survive by doing things that we call consuming or consumption, which is to say contrasting what is going on in the environment and summing it up into a single processable piece of information, like what they're seeing. And it's through this self-selecting and recursive process of information consumption that we determine that something is conscious, or continually contrasting the environment for differences. But what's really happening with matter, and how does it know what state to take on? Well, the answer lies behind what many have called the quantum field, and how it interacts with consumed perspective. Imagine for a second you have a sphere that you want to divide into an unlimited number of spheres. One way to do this would be information. Just like how the game files and a computer, when playing a video game, don't actually contain the world, but the processor is interpreting the game code, and the graphics card is drawing the computed reality. And then the recreated world is being drawn on the screen. Everything in this game world is controlled by the code, the computer processing the code, and what part of the game world is being used by the player at that moment. Well, this is one way the universe could segment itself into infinite number of possibilities. So in our universe of toruses, the more conscious entities are the players controlling what parts of reality are being observed at any given time. This would mean that all the other non-conscious foci or focal points, like the collective torus of the atoms in a rock, within the observed field of a conscious observer, must consume information that the conscious observer is expecting. To put this in simpler terms, how we feel at any given moment, what a conscious entity expects to happen, and what region of space they're in, all control what appears to us out of the quantum field. From the focal point of each individual entity, there is a spiraling point of motion. The spiral pattern is known as the Fibonacci spiral, or the golden mean ratio. We could do an entire video on this concept alone. However, how the individual entity prints itself in 3D reality is along these spirals in a 3D outwards moving vortex motion. And this has a series of recognizable surface patterns that are all across the universe. You may be asking yourself, well, who's the biggest conscious observer on the Earth? Well, the answer is the Earth itself. This is due to the immense electromagnetic force the Earth is creating around itself due to the iron core inside the Earth creating a giant cohesive torus for us all to play in. This effectively makes us players in the game of Gaia. But it's deeper than that. Because we're composed of the minerals and inorganic material of the Earth, we are also conscious observers for and of the Earth. This effectively makes us both extensions of Gaia and individual conscious agents moving around in a portable quantum computer that we're calling a body. And while it's difficult to see ourselves as reflections of the planet with just our eyes, when you compare things like the human energetic field and the Earth's energetic field, or our veins and nerves with the rivers and streams of the Earth, the connection becomes obvious. Taking this one step further, this would mean, in essence, each human being is really a collection of focal points along the spine, or an array, that exists within another set of focal points on the Earth, that exists within another set of focal points in the solar system, that exists within another set of focal points in the galaxy, until infinity.